15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, yeah. This is your baby. Kapan datang, Pak?
Agus Harimurti Yudhoyono.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace and blessings be upon us all. General Honorable David Hurley, as the co-founder of IKAHAN, His Excellency Dr. Iftithar Sulaiman, Minister of Transmigration of the Republic of Indonesia, my good friend, His Excellency Rod Brazier, Ambassador of Australia to the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Lieutenant General Hotma Ngaraja Panjaitan, Indonesian Ambassador to the Republic of Singapore, distinguished members of the IKAHAN Senior Advisory Group, especially Lieutenant General Rick Bird, senior officers and veterans of the TNI and the Australian Defence Forces. Of course, we see so many generals, admirals, and air marshals. Excellencies, fellow alumni, ladies and gentlemen, selamat malam and a very good evening to you all. It is a genuine honor to stand before you tonight, not only in my capacity as Coordinating Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development, but as someone whose own journey has been shaped by the friendship between Indonesia and Australia. I stand here as a soldier. They say soldiers never die, they just fade away. So I stand here as a soldier, as a member of IKAHAN, and above all, as a friend. General Hurley, terima kasih. Thank you for the kind words, for your inspiration that you have just shared. Of course, we can tell this is a very meaningful event for you because IKAHAN is your baby. And for something far greater, for turning personal friendship into an enduring institution. 15 years ago, IKAHAN began from a simple conviction that the bonds formed between Indonesian and Australian defense professionals should not end when a course concludes, when an exercise is completed, or when an officer returns home. Tonight, that conviction stands before us. More than 5,000 members strong, one of the first defense alumni associations Indonesia has ever had, and one of the most meaningful bridges between our two great nations. Ladies and gentlemen, the story of IKAHAN does not begin with a treaty, not with a budget, not with a policy paper or a signing ceremony. It begins with people. It begins with young cadets meeting far from home, discovering that beneath different uniforms were the same hopes, the same discipline, and the same desire to serve. Years passed, careers grew, but the friendship remained. So a clear decision was made that future generations need a place where these relationships can continue to grow and thrive. A home that keeps people connected year after year. That decision became IKAHAN, Ikatan Alumni Pertahanan. That is the most important lesson of this anniversary. The strongest partnerships between nations are built by people, by confidence and respect, by those who keep showing up for one another. I know this because in many ways, it is also my own story. Let me share 3 moments. In 2012, I had just been promoted to the rank of major when I joined the Young Future Leaders Forum in Australia. I came with 2 fellow officers. Today, one also serves as a minister in the cabinet. Silakan berdiri, Bapak Muhammad Iftithah Sulaiman. He is my senior in the military academy, 1 year. And the other now as the deputy at the National Defense Council, Brigadier General Frega Wenas. Boleh berdiri, Bang? So the 3 officers. Now he's now in National Defense Council. That is what these exchanges can do. They shape young officers who later carry responsibility in different forms. But I should say that the Australian government, the Australian Defense, has really great vision. So they could tell some of those officers would be in a cabinet minister positions. Thank you. On the sidelines of that visit, I also learned that my own grandfather, the late General Sarwo A.D. Wibowo, had once attended a command and staff college in Australia. When he returned home, he would later serve as the commander of RPKAD, the Indonesian Army Special Forces of that era. For me, it was deeply personal. It showed that this defense relationship has been carried across generations through classrooms, training grounds, and friendships that endure. That experience planted a conviction that has never left me. This relationship does not belong to governments alone. It belongs to generations of soldiers, alumni, and young leaders who carry it forward. A few years later, that friendship took a form I know best, the form of a soldier. In 2015 and 2016, I took part in Wira Jaya Ausindo exercise, the bilateral military exercise between our 2 armies. Indonesia hosted first in Cipatat, West Java, and Australia hosted the second in Darwin. I still remember it was a great time in Mount Bundy training area. Very hot indeed. By then, I was serving as the commander of the 23rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion. And those were among my final days in uniform before I joined politics. So actually, my last days as an active military officer was in Darwin. Because right after I returned to Jakarta, I submit myself to join the governor's election in Jakarta. Although I lost the election, but no regret, because I still serve for the same conviction, for the best of my people and my country. For our Australian friends, Wira speaks of a warrior, and Jaya speaks of victory and glory. But the true victory was not on the training ground. It was the bond we built. When you carry the same load, share the same hardships, and celebrate the same small victories, something happens that no diplomacy can manufacture. You stop seeing a foreign army and you start seeing brothers in arms. That kind of bond does not expire. And it is exactly what IKAHAN exists to protect. And then a third moment. In 2022, I again visited Australia under the special visit program. At the time, I held no office, no portfolio, no ministerial title. I came only with my convictions and with my commitment to this friendship. And yet, I was received with the same warmth as ever, including a courtesy call with General Hurley, then serving as Governor General. General Hurley, I have not forgotten that meeting. It told me everything about the true character of this relationship. A real friendship does not check your title at the door. It does not ask whether you are in power or out of it. It does not wait for you to be useful or successful. It simply remains. That is friendship, and that is the spirit this association was built to carry. Ladies and gentlemen, those 3 moments taught me a lesson that holds true today. Defense cooperation is not built by institutions alone. It is built human to human, soldier to soldier, friend to friend. Equipment may evolve, technology may advance, governments may change, but trust, once built properly, endures across generations. This is why IKAHAN matters. It is more than an alumni association. It is the human infrastructure of the Indonesia-Australia partnership. It keeps relationship warm when the world grows cold. It keeps channels open when circumstances become difficult. It reminds us that even in a complex strategic environment, friendship remains a strategic asset. And we have seen recently how this human foundation can become a formal commitment. Through the Treaty of Common Security between Indonesia and Australia, our governments are taking cooperation to a new level, including through deeper exchanges among future military leaders. Today, I serve as Coordinating Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development. In this role, I have come to appreciate how inseparable security and development truly are. There is no sustainable development without peace and stability. Roads, ports, housing, power systems, and cities do not stand on concrete and steel alone. They stand on predictability and a sense of security. And security finds its highest purpose when it protects human dignity, expands opportunity, and allows our people to live better lives. So when Indonesia and Australia invest in defense cooperation, we are also building the conditions for a more peaceful, resilient, and prosperous Indo-Pacific. Our regions needs this spirit now more than ever. Strategic competition is intensifying. Maritime security is growing more complex. Cyber threats and climate impacts are testing us all. No country faces these challenges alone. Indonesia and Australia are different in many ways. Different histories, different languages, and different journeys. But that is precisely why this friendship matters. We are not bound by being the same. We are bound by choosing to understand each other. We are neighbors who have decided that our futures are stronger when we build them together. Ladies and gentlemen, on this 15th anniversary, let me close with 3 simple messages. First, to General Hurley and the founders, terima kasih. Tepuk tangan sekali lagi untuk General Hurley. You did not merely build an organization, you built a home for friendship. To Ambassador Brazier and the Senior Advisory Group and every member who has carried this association forward. The bridge you maintain is worth far more than you may realize. In an uncertain world, a trusted neighbor is a rare and a precious thing. And lastly, to the young officers and the future leaders in this room, IKAHAN is now yours to protect. 15 years from now, someone may stand where I stand tonight and tell the story of your friendships. Please make it a story worth telling. Indonesia and Australia, friends, neighbors, partners, may this friendship grow stronger with every year that passes. May IKAHAN continue to be its home, its bridge, and its living memory. Here is to the next 15 years and to many more beyond them. Selamat ulang tahun ke-15 IKAHAN. Long live IKAHAN. Terima kasih. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.